Now this chicken and mozzarella recipe literally takes just a couple of minutes to prepare, but the flavors will literally melt in your mouth. G'day, welcome to Todd's Kitchen. Who doesn't love cooked chicken? And who doesn't love mozzarella? But did you know you can put them together and they taste even better? So join me today as I make my version of mozzarella stuffed chicken. Okay, so we're going to start off with two nice pieces of chicken breast. Now I've heard stories of people having issues cutting into chicken breast with a knife. Honestly, all it comes down to is having a sharp knife. So just make sure you sharpen your knife before you cut it in. Honestly, the wackiest excuse I've heard on how to cut chicken breast is wait till it's half frozen or defrosting because it's easy to cut. But honestly, it just comes down to using a sharp knife. It's that simple. And especially when you're cooking half frozen chicken, it really does come down to a food safety issue. Because chicken, you definitely want to be cooked all the way through, and being partly frozen and partly thawed, well, you can see where I'm going. So, in each breast, we're just going to cut, say, about 3/4 of the way down, and just try and get, roughly, say, just over, say, a centimetre on each one, between each cut. So we've got about 2, 4, we've got 6 cuts out of that one. So we're going to aim for the same on this one. So again, cutting about 3/4 of the way down. So definitely don't cut it completely, because you still want that base intact. But see what I mean? Just having a sharp knife, just simply using a knife sharpener makes a world of difference. And how easy was that? Okay, so now we're going to put a couple of ingredients into our chicken slices. The first one being some fresh mozzarella cheese. Now, if you remember, I made this in an early video, but if you missed it, I will leave a link in the description as well as at the end of this video, so you can check it out how to make it, because it's really dead simple and it's so much cheaper than what you're going to buy in the shops. So we're just going to cut out just some thin slices from our mozzarella cheese. If anything, it's actually a bit harder to cut the mozzarella than the chicken. So we're just going to place some mozzarella just in between each one of our slits of chicken, like so. Okay, so for our next ingredient, I'm going to use some grape tomatoes. So we're just going to cut those into small little slits. And back to our chicken, we're going to place one slit on one side of our mozzarella. So have a nice baked tomato as well. And for our next ingredient, we're going to use some fresh basil leaves or basil leaves. It really comes up to you how you want to say it. Tomato. So we've got the tomato on one side, and just insert our basil leaves on the other side. Now try and use fresh if possible, because trust me, the scent and aroma, like just touching it, you can smell it and it smells delicious. So this really is a very simple chicken dinner to make. Or even lunch. Honestly, it's good for lunch as well. And this will infuse a lovely, lovely basil aroma, taste, smell throughout this chicken while it's baking. Okay, so next I'm just going to use a standard baking tray, and just with some cooking spray oil, just giving it a quick grease. Also use a little butter if you don't have cooking spray oil. And we're just going to carefully place our chicken breasts into our baking tray, so you don't need to fill it up with oil. So it's nice and healthy all the way. Okay, so next I'm just going to lightly sprinkle just some olive oil on top of each of our breasts. This will give it a lovely, this all adds to the taste, trust me. Then I'm going to give each one just a light sprinkle with some salt, some pepper, and just some Italian seasoning. This really does bring out so many flavors. You don't need too much, it's already pretty strong. And it is really that simple. That's all your preparation. Literally takes just a few minutes to do. Okay, so we're going to place this into a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about half an hour. But what I like to do is use an instant read thermometer just to be on the safe side because it is chicken. And you want it to get it to about at least 75 degrees Celsius or 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so I've just taken our chicken out of the oven, so just with a thermometer, you can see how it's reached. It's now at 165 Fahrenheit, or pretty much 75 degrees Celsius, so it's done. Now would you look at that juicy chicken? As long as you cook it to the right temperature, so it's not overdone, it's going to be nice and juicy. And that melted mozzarella. And just look at how the mozzarella has melted over, kind of like a mushroom over the chicken like so. And on the very top of the mozzarella, it's slightly crispy. And trust me, that texture of the crispy outer layer of mozzarella, which is just on the top, and that gooey, lovely mozzarella in the center, mixed with all those lovely herbs and spices. Now, if you choose to have one whole chicken breast for yourself, that really is a whole meal. Or say you got a family of 4, cut it in half, add some fresh steamed vegetables, and it'll taste simply delish.